welcome back. If you're new to my channel, thanks for stopping by and checking this out. If you're old to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. I don't ask that often, just because it gets redundant sometimes to keep asking, but I guess I'll do it this time. Please do subscribe. It really does help me out a lot if you do that, and obviously it costs you nothing. Okay, so today, what are we doing? We're going to do a review of the John Deere S170 lawnmower. I did pick that up recently. You may have seen that in one of my previous videos, but this is going to be the first time that I talk about it because I wanted to spend some time with it. I wanted to mow the yard a couple of times before I talk about it at all. But before I do, I got to mow the lawn. So let's do a quick mow, let's enjoy that together, and then I'll come back and we'll do a little bit of back and forth about what's going on with the John Deere S170. Alright, so here it is, the John Deere S170. Let's talk about it a little bit, shall we? Okay, so first off, it is pretty dusty because yes, I have been using it a few times, but I will say, first things first, it cuts really well, so there's no worries there. The 170 being one of the higher end of the 100 series has a few options that you may not get with the lower end series. For example, it's got a much better seat here, and it has this here for the lumbar support, so you can kind of turn this and tweak it any way you want. It has the adjustable seat down here. The seat is also springed. The gas cap is right in the back. It's spring loaded. It does have a seat sensor here, so if you do stand up, which is a little bit annoying, but I get it. If you stand up off of the lawn tractor, it will shut off on you. So far, I have not figured out a way to turn that feature off, but I understand why they have it. Place to hold your adult beverage. A little compartment here if you need to store like your phone or something else, some documentation, whatever you need. I don't use it on my property because my property is not big enough, but you've got cruise control. Right here is how you turn on and off the PTO for the lawnmower. Right here you've got, right there is for the headlights, and then if you turn it again, it's gonna try and crank the mower up. It's got the dual pedals, similar to the John Deere tractors. One goes forward, one goes back, and they're marked on there, so to make it real easy for you. Let's see a few other features. I'll go ahead and pop this guy open. It's got a 24 horsepower or 724cc engine in there. I want to say it's a Kohler, but it might be a Briggs & Stratton engine. I'm not really a gearhead type guy, but it does have those easy change oil filters on there. Obviously, I've only put like 10 hours on this thing, so I have not had to change any oil yet. It's gotten mixed reviews. It is easy to change them, but I guess apparently it only swaps out a portion of the oil when you do the oil change, and so some people, I guess, have issues with that. Brake pedal. and you have to engage the brake to set the parking brake. Right now this is turned up. Right here is the clutch. I'm sorry, not the clutch. The choke is up here, and down here on your left hand side is how you change the height of your mowing deck. One thing as part of the more safety features, this button right here, you can press this button and hold it down while you're driving backwards with the PTO engaged. If you have your mower engaged and you try to back up, it will shut your engine off, as more safety features. Again, I understand, I get it, but it is kind of annoying. So what I usually end up doing is turning off the PTO and then backing up and then turning on the PTO when I need to drive forward. So I don't know which one is better, but leave me a comment down below if you want, if you know which one's going to be harder on the machine. It does have a way to hitch on something for towing, so that's nice. So that's pretty much it in terms of all of the features that are on it, but we'll go ahead and do just a little bit more of a review on what's going on with this mower. Take it for what it's worth. That's where I'm coming from, as someone who's been using a push mower his whole life and for the first time transitioned to a riding mower. First thing, and I know it seems silly, but my Toro, my little 22-inch, you know, crank it, you know, it's got the little transaxle on it to help you go up hills and whatever, but that little Toro is in some ways it's easier to start than the John Deere. And I only say that because there is no choke on it. You just pull the cord, and it starts first time, every time. Cold start. It's been in cold storage for 6 months, and I pull it out and it starts right away. It is amazing, and I think I've gotten a little bit spoiled by how amazing that engine is at just starting cold start every time. Now, the John Deere, partly my fault because I didn't realize that there was a choke on it. I assumed, man, if my cheapo little 22-inch push mower has like an easy start, like surely I just have to turn the key on this thing. But nope, there is actually, the way that John Deere works is that lever that showed you the slow and high, and then you have to kind of push it a little bit more beyond the high to put it into choke, and it sort of springs back on you after the engine starts, so then you have to immediately crank it back down. It's kind of a weird, complicated set of steps coming from just pull the string and start mowing, right? So it's a little more complicated, but once you figure it out, it's not bad. So that's the first thing to kind of note. That was a little off-putting for me initially. But like I mentioned earlier, the cut is really nice. It's got a 48-inch mower deck on this guy, which is saving me so much time, on top of the fact that, you know, I can drive faster on this thing than I could push the lawnmower. So what you get with that 48 inches is cutting the grass and moving at a much faster rate than you ever could with a push mower. So that's a huge positive by having that really nice wide cutting deck. You could go larger. I think there's like a 180 model or something that's got like a 50-inch. I wanted something I could fit through the gates on my fence that I plan on finishing someday. But I really like the 48-inch. I think for a 1-acre lot, I don't know that I would have gone any bigger than that. Now on the flip side of that, you cut more in wide open spaces. And so with my push mower, again, coming from a place of being a guy who's been using a push mower his whole life, it's weird for me to go from being able to push right into corners and just kind of, you know, pull it and pitch your mower and just kind of turn it and do 90-degree turns and crazy things that you can do with a push mower, because you just pop it up on 2 wheels and move it around almost like a dolly if you have to. With a tractor, you can't do that. You're driving it, and so you really have to rethink the way that you cut your lawn. I'm having to come up with all new patterns of how I choose to cut my lawn to avoid obstacles and make sure I have enough turn radius. It's causing me to rethink like where I want to do some of my landscaping. Like, there's a lot that changes when you go from the mobility and flexibility of a push mower to sort of these big winding driving circles that you have to deal with when you're in a ride in a tractor. Some of that might have been alleviated with a zero turn, but again, if you guys have been on my channel long enough, you know that I'm kind of on a slope here, and I am pushing the limits of even what a riding tractor can do on a slope. A positive thing is it's doing it. It's making it up the slope. Now I have to crank that thing all the way up to rabbit when I'm going up some of these hills, and it's definitely, you kind of pucker a little bit when you're riding sideways on some of these, and I would not let Soccer Girl cut this lawn, because even I feel a little unsafe sometimes when I'm on some of the really bad parts of the slope. And so on the flat areas, the smooth areas where the grass is grown in and things are a little softer and flatter, it works great. When you start getting into lumpy, bumpy, kind of off-tilter areas, it does not feel safe at all. Even with the push mower, I was kind of drifting to get a straight line on some of these really steep angles on my property, and so with a riding mower you really can't do that, and it's definitely a little scary sometimes. That's really all I wanted to say for now. I just wanted to give you an update, let you know that I did purchase a riding tractor lawn mower, not a zero turn and not a push mower, but it's doing the job, and I'm happy so far. Coming from a guy who's had a push mower his whole life and transitioning over to a riding tractor, I think this is a good transition, warming me up to the idea of possibly getting the real deal someday in the future. But for now, I love it. I love the sort of hydrostatic feel that you get with this 100 or 170 John Deere, and yeah, I'm happy with the buy. It's doing the job, and I'm gonna keep mowing with this, and hopefully it's gonna last me for years to come. And I'll keep you guys up to date if you're interested in knowing, hey, what's it like a year from now? What's it like 2 years from now? Let me know. Leave a comment down below, and I'll give you updates on my thoughts for the 170. Or if you have enough questions down in the comments, maybe I'll do another video and answer all of those all at once. Anyways, with that, y'all be good to each other, and I'll see you on the next one.